Welcome to another edition of Odyssey House Journals, one of the most watched and listened to podcasts dealing with addiction and recovery. And I might ask you, if you're watching on YouTube, if you would kindly subscribe. We've got a growing subscriber list, and the advantage of that is that you will be notified every time a new podcast comes out. So just all you got to do is, if you're watching it, hit subscribe. It's very simple. I haven't done it yet.
I haven't either.
Have you?
I have not.
Jeez.
Well, that's three.
That's three more right there. Right. Anyway, welcome to another edition of Odyssey House Journals. I'm Randall Carlisle. My co-host is Nicole Slack. And our guest today is Brian, who is a man in recovery.
I am.
How long?
As far as Odyssey House, September 5th.
Okay, well, people can be watching or listening to this at any time. So how many months? So it'd be
Actual recovery would probably be 7
months.
Right, but I was clean for a few months before. I was in jail, and so I was.
You don't have to stay clean in jail.
Right. Well, but I wasn't using, but I wasn't. I don't know if I'd call that recovery. Right. But
what would you call it?
It got me focused. I called it.
Lack of options.
What? You know what? So when I went to jail for this, this drugs were involved, and at first I was all right just to go to prison. I've been to prison before, and somewhere along the line, my thought process started to change. Like I always figured I had a parole problem and not a drug problem. Yeah. And so I talked to my little sister quite often on the phone, and I just wanted to narrow the distance that I created with my family, with my daughter, and people that I care about. And so I'd made a decision that I want to do something different. It's going to require effort that I've never given before, and so I applied myself in that direction.
A lot of people have that attitude. Well, it's easier to do time than it is to do recovery. And is that sort of the way you were looking at it back then, or?
Pretty much. It was comfortable for me. It was something that I've done. That's what I had done. I didn't want to do parole or paper. That's probation. I just wanted to go to prison and get it over with. Just give me the amount of time. That's where I was at with it. I just I didn't want to have to answer to anybody to report every month. I never did well with the authority figures, and so that's what I was wanting to do. But somewhere in that time, I was in there for 11 months. This time, in another state, I just started to. I don't know. I started thinking about it because I obviously wasn't happy. I wanted to do something different. And, it just, if I want something different, it's going to require more effort. It's going to require a different approach to my attitude about everyday life, about what my priorities really are. And so that's where it began.
So if I chuckled when you said you hate authority, and if you think about it, you're being in jail or prison. You're listening to authority every damn day. They're saying this is where you got to go now. This is where you line up. This is where you do this. This is how you do that.
Right.
Which is authority, right?
Yeah.
But if you hate authority, was it tough for you to enter a treatment program like Odyssey House, where it's very structured with not iron authority like a guard in a prison, but it is highly structured.
Yeah, that's a good question. Did I use the word hate? I wasn't good with authority, so if I did say hate, that's a word I usually don't use much, but it was something I very disliked. I didn't do well with the authority, and you make a good point on that. I guess going to prison or jail, authority, and I guess. Right, maybe that's why we dislike being in there, but it was something that I was comfortable with, and I didn't have to, they could just send me there. I can take care of it.
And it's something you knew.
That's right. It's something that I was unfortunately accustomed to.
One of the people if you remember, Nicole, a person that we interviewed from our outreach team who goes into jail said, when she talks to somebody who says, hey, I could just do my time, I don't want to do treatment or anything because it's too hard. And her comment was, is it hard not having a cell phone, being able to make a phone call at only a certain amount of time, having to get money on the books from the commissary, having to do this at a certain time, having to do that at a certain time? Is that hard? Well, and they'd say yes, and she'd say, what? So it depends on your definition of hard and what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to do hard in jail, or do you want to do hard in recovery, which can result in happiness for some people?
Right. Yeah, I guess it's not. It's hard, like mostly mentally. Really, you're just kind of, but that's what you do. You wake up, here's your tray. You eat that's what it does. They got a schedule, so it is structured, and that's part of the reason why I guess we dislike the authority. But it's pretty contradictory what we say, right? Because that makes sense. For me, I just wanted a better quality of life.
Perfect.
Better quality of life.
How long had you done, because I hear so often it's just easier to do jail and prison because I've done that for so long.
Right.
How long had you done that?
Let's see. I've done probably 20 years.
20 years of addiction and
the addiction was before that. I've been incarcerated 20 years. I've been in the state prison. I terminated 2 separate sentences in the state. So the last one was in 2007. In 2008, I got indicted, federal indictment for possession with the intent to distribute. And I was given 110 months. So I did the 110, I did the sentence. You don't do you do 85% of it. I was out. I thought that I wanted to do something different. But what I realized is it's not recovery. You don't address any of the issues, that takes you into the addiction, that takes you into the use. And right, you don't address all the destruction, all the damage you did to yourself, with relationships, in your family. Yeah.
What traumas did you have to deal with, and how are you? And how are you dealing? How are you setting things up now so that you have a better relationship with your family?
That's a good question. I really don't say too much about it because it's kind of like it's a tired song. We've been here before. Me want to do something different, but saying one thing when your behaviors don't match that, what you're demonstrating doesn't match the things that you say. It wears them out. It wears them out. maybe they don't trust it. Excuse me. Like with my daughter, it
How old is she?
probably hurts her feelings. She's grown. She's her name is Maddie. Excuse me.
It's
Yeah.
it's obviously an emotional issue with you trying to reestablish a good relationship with Maddie.
It is. It is that, and I just found out that she's pregnant, and we're gonna have a baby in June, and
Grandpa.
right, and I'm super excited, and I'm just gonna take what she allows, I'm gonna build some trust, body of work, and I was already in treatment. And I was trying to address what I need to address to progress in life. And so when I heard that she was, we're going to have a baby, that's just another incentive, right? I quit doing it for, my mom or, my siblings or for even Maddie. I feel like if I just do this for myself, I feel that's the same thing. I feel it's the same thing as doing it for them.
It is, but it's a better motivation that will last longer. So
Right, and I'm actually really nervous because I'm almost done with the program as far as the inpatient, and I'm going to be going to outpatient, and I'm very nervous because right now I have my thought is, I'm trying to do what's best, right? The next right thing, and to continue doing what I'm doing now. I'm worried that my interest and my priorities will change when I start transitioning into the world again, and it's always been tough for me, and so I'm trying to take I'm trying to take new steps. It does feel different for me this time, but I don't say, hey, look, I'm in treatment, I'm all good. Look, give me back all this trust, right? Give me this trust. Can I have the keys to the car? Can I borrow some money? I'm doing good. Look at me, right? And I'm just not going to do that. I'm just going to try to focus on what I feel I need to do and to continue forward. I feel all the trust will come. It will come in time.
So you got a good attitude. The trust issue is a big deal.
Right.
I think it's about not saying it, just showing it and continue to show it.
Correct.
That's where the trust will be, because our words as addicts become nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won't drink again. I won't use again. Yeah, but you said that a million times.
That's right.
Now you just get to show her.
Right. Yeah, right. It breaks, my mom's heart. It breaks my siblings' hearts. My daughter, she, she never got what she deserved from her father. I can't go back in time. I gave up so trying to have trying to achieve a better past. That'll never work. And so, yeah. With her, it's really hard for me.
Why? I noticed that talking about her more than your parents or your siblings or anything who strikes a chord with you emotionally.
Yeah.
Is it? You can't change the past. We've all got to accept that. And we wish we could, but we can't. Right. So all you can do is the present and the future. And is it because you feel guilty about the way the past was, or?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of guilt, a lot of shame. I simply I wasn't there for her. I was locked up most of my time, and then when I was out, I tried to do good at first, and when the struggles, came, I'd fall back on what I always did before. At first, maybe it was just using, or if it was for money, then was distributing stuff. And, I think about what I used to do. And I always thought I was just hurting myself, right? I always thought that I wasn't hurting anybody else. And, how wrong is that? I found that out. And I think about somebody else. And maybe they have a Maddie.
True.
And somebody's out there doing what I was doing, using drugs, distributing drugs. I was involved in what comes along with drugs is the whole world, right? Identity theft, stolen property. It just goes on and on and on, right? Toxic relationships. I just want to change that. I was thinking I'm going to have a grandchild. I just found out it was going to be a boy. And what if somebody was to take, what if there's a Brian out there and some of the stuff that I was distributing, obviously, I'm not giving it to kids. I always felt like, hey, I'm not going to give it to anybody that doesn't want it, but it goes down. It gets to them.
Sure.
And I definitely wasn't part of the solution. And I think about that. And yeah, it's really bothersome. Anyway, I'm trying to fix that. I don't want that to, to define who I am as a person. And so I decided I want to do something different. I went to, I got out of jail to do a program. I was going to do a different program, and APP, they didn't feel that addressed the needs that I needed. So I thought about it. I happened to see somebody that was there reporting that I knew, and they said that they were in Odyssey House, and so I had to get an assessment done. I decided, all right, I'll do an assessment. This all was a work of progress of work too, because assessment costs money. You got to have Medicaid, so I went and got Medicaid, and then I did the assessment, and they even. So I'm at Odyssey Lighthouse right now, and I got to tell you, it was the first day I was there. I was just thinking, there's no way there's no way that I'm going to stay here, but I won't leave today. I waited till the end of the month, and went and reported, because I still go report, and I kind of left that little innuendo, a little out for my PO. I don't really know if Odyssey's for me. I really believe that. I'm not really sure if this is for me. Maybe I should have went somewhere else and did a different one.
Saying that.
Right, and so, but he didn't say, oh yeah, okay, go ahead and leave. Let's try somewhere else. But I stayed. I endured, right? And so I stayed, and then the next month, it had gotten better for me. Each week as I progressed got a little bit better, but I still wasn't all the way bought into it. And then when I went and see my PO again the next time, I don't know, somewhere along the line, something just kind of clicked with me. It started to understand what the program is about, the behaviors, and how everything works. And so, I just kept a positive attitude every day. I just, positive attitude. I did these reframes. I tried doing everything that they asked to do to see, if they'd work. I told myself I would give it a chance. And so I did. I used these reframes at times. I used them last night. I used them almost every day at times when my attitude is not right or I'm feeling some type of way. And they work, it doesn't just snap, okay, you're all better, but, it requires effort, and it does work. And so I'm also going to say this, I've never in my life ever entered something like this, school, whatever it is, program, class, and if just went ahead and followed the rules. If the rule didn't apply to me, I didn't, or if I didn't think it was important, I've always dismissed it. And I've done what Brian thought, I felt I was unique, and I felt these rules were other people. That's where my thought was, but I'm not doing any of that. And this is, it's crazy. It's at my old age that I'm actually, I'm following the rules. I said, all right, so I'm following the rules, and it feels pretty good. And anyway, now that where I'm at now, I'm at the highest level while inside the house, and without question, right, with 100% without question, and I know that I made the right decision by staying in Odyssey House, without question. And not only am I 100% sure of that, I'm really proud of it.
Well, and we're proud of you. I mean, one observation, and Nicole sees more of you than I do, but my observation is that you're a pretty deep thinker, because you look at something and you think about it for a while, and then you come up with some thoughts and answers. And you're well liked, at least from what I can observe from the people in your program, and you come up with some good ideas. So, I doubt that the old Brian would have done that.
Right.
Nicole, what's your observation?
I think Brian's really feisty, and
There's nothing wrong with that as long as it's constructive feistiness.
well, I'm listening to your story, and you don't want to, if it doesn't apply, you just didn't do it.
Right.
But that's not the person I know.
Right.
You got pretty feisty the other day, and then looked back on it, and then we talked about it. I mean, you weren't disrespectful or anything, but you got feisty about something that you were really passionate about, and it was a positive thing to be passionate about. But even though it was positive, you still looked back and were like, I should have done that differently. And I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I did. I had a strong opinion on a subject.
Right. And you voiced it well.
Right. But it doesn't mean that somebody else has to agree with what my opinion is on, on what we were talking about. And so I kept, I would put out another point, and I thought about that afterwards with I go back, I think, reframe stuff, and I felt like that wasn't the look I was trying for, And I think back, and I thought, I felt a little disappointed with myself at first, and then I thought, okay, look, you're fine. And so I openly, I know Nicole because she's our staff for Jets, right? I'm part of the Jets, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But so I interact with her, at least once a week in person. And so I felt like I wanted to apologize, and so I did. I emailed her, and I told her, hey, look, I apologize. And I made a commitment moving forward to be more mindful. I don't need to go back and forth and keep going on. I made a point. I said, I pointed out how I felt about something, and that's good. It wasn't a debate. So I took it a little personal, I guess, and was just a little, because I felt something real strongly, but I felt that's not necessary to continue to pound my idea or my thought. You got to think like me. That's old thoughts and behaviors, and it's all right to be different, to have a different point of view on something. And so,
but would Brian a year ago, look at how far you've come, is what I meant.
Yeah. 100%. I would have never, I would have probably still been arguing about that situation, right?
Weeks later.
Coming up with it. I haven't dropped it, right? I come up with new ideas. And
You brought up JETS, which is junior executive training.
Yes.
Which is sort of the elite of people who are in residential or in our treatment program. And you're pretty proud of that.
100%.
As you should be, and you participate well. And I think that's going to help you when, you talked about a little bit of fear getting out of residential.
Yeah.
What are your plans for,
When I get out?
yeah, to get rid of that, going back to the old patterns?
So, I've had a lot of good advice given to me when I was growing up. I never did anything with it. but I got some, and it's staying connected. I 100% I want to stay connected. As far as the jets, we have all these jets things advertising them inside our houses, and I thought about it when somebody approached me and said, "Hey, I think that you would be, a good jet, and I would sponsor you," because you have to have another jet sponsor you to be a jet, and then you have to put a jet proposal in. It's not extensive, but
Right.
You answer some questions, and then they vote. The vote has to be unanimous, and so and they expect you to carry yourself or hold yourself to a high level. Perfection, no, but progress. But you want to have a lot of these things down. The emotional regulation, which was a big one for me, and that's the one that that I'm very mindful of. That I have to, that I reel it in, I stop and think, and that's part of our process of inside the program, the encounter process. Regulating your emotions, listen to what somebody else has to say, and validating the feelings without. Doesn't mean you're agreeing with them, but to listen patiently, right? And then just understand where they're coming from.
You're doing great on this.
Yeah. And so with the jets, when they told me about it, I thought about it, and it's like if you want to stay connected and come back and be involved in the house as part of staff or whatever, is one of the things that is an option that can be out there if they think that you're on that level. And so I found out that they had that's when they told me they had an adolescent program, and I said, they have an adolescent program, and that really piqued my interest. I that's what I want to do. I always wanted to help some adolescents. I never had a positive male role model in my life, and I feel a lot of these youngsters that are that are trouble or facing adversity could use some help, somebody that's been there to talk with them.
I wish we would have started talking about this earlier.
Yeah.
We're out of time. But
Are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope that you keep up that feeling to become, to go with whatever you do, somehow get involved in being a role model for young people. Because if you get struggling young people at an early age, they don't end up.
Right. They don't have to take the same path I did.
Right.
Yeah. And we did go over there, and we did talk.
And I got to cut you off.
Okay. You're good.
But thank you for being a guest and sharing your thoughts. We have great hopes for you. I think you're going to do well. I'm very impressed with meeting you. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nicole, it's good to see you again.
You too.
Thank you for watching or listening to another edition of Odyssey House Journals.